She created social media accounts in my name, connected with my coworkers, and started posting disturbing content, photos of knives, cryptic messages about ending it all, screenshots of fake therapy sessions discussing my violent tendencies. HR called me in. They'd received multiple reports from concerned colleagues. I tried to explain, showed them evidence of my mother's harassment, but the damage was done. They put me on administrative leave pending a full review. We all knew what that meant. Jessica's apartment became my safe house again. But even there, my mother's influence crept in. Jessica started getting calls at her practice, anonymous complaints about professional boundaries, suggestions that she was taking advantage of a vulnerable patient. An ethics review was opened. We both knew my mother was behind it, but proving it was impossible. The complaints were carefully worded, just plausible enough to require investigation. Jessica had to limit our contact to protect her license. Another support system successfully eroded. I started recording everything. Every incident, every sighting, every piece of harassment. The folder grew thick with evidence. But without physical threats or violence, the police said it was a civil matter. The lawyer said we could try for a restraining order, but judges rarely granted them for just emotional manipulation. My money was running low. No job, no prospects, no references I could safely use. My mother had systematically destroyed every avenue of independence I'd tried to build. The $40,000 that had seemed like freedom was disappearing into rent and living expenses. Then she played her masterstroke. I came home to find my apartment door open. Nothing was disturbed, nothing was taken, but on my bed was a single envelope. Inside, photos of Jessica, at her home, at her office, at the grocery store, getting into her car. The message was clear. I can reach anyone you care about. That night, I made a decision. I called Jessica, explained what I needed to do. She protested, said we could fight this together, but we both knew my mother would never stop. Not as long as I gave her something to fight against. The next morning, I did what she'd been pushing me toward all along. I went home. She was waiting in the living room, dressed in the same sundress she'd worn that breakfast months ago. The table was set with the good china, chocolate chip pancakes steaming on a plate, like nothing had happened, like I'd just been away on a trip. She didn't say anything when I walked in, just smiled and gestured to my chair. I sat down, picked up the fork, took a bite. Her smile widened. We fell back into the routine like I'd never left. She didn't mention my absence, didn't gloat about winning, just treated everything as normal. I slept on the couch in her room, gave her foot massages while we watched TV, let her play with my hair while she talked about her day. But something had changed. The guilt was gone. The confusion was gone. I saw everything clearly now. Every touch, every manipulation, every calculated move. I wasn't her prisoner anymore. I was her student. I started documenting differently, not for lawyers or police, but for myself. Learning her patterns, understanding her triggers, mapping the architecture of her control. She thought she'd won, but she'd actually given me the perfect classroom. Jessica texted once to check on me. I told her I was fine, that she should focus on clearing her name. The ethics review would find nothing because there was nothing to find. My mother's accusations would collapse under scrutiny. Jessica would be okay as long as I stayed away. My father emailed asking if I was alright. I wrote back saying I needed more time. He responded with just 2 words that somehow conveyed years of patient understanding. At night, I lay on that familiar couch, listening to my mother's breathing.